Namaskar. Today, the topic of our discussion for this satsang is hovers around the word design. The word design has a lot of importance when it comes to the Karmyog for 21st Century's Fit for Life program. How so is what we're going to discuss. But before that, it's important to understand the word design in a deeper sense than what we normally do. Well, the word design is normally connected with art forms. You mostly people use this word connected with art. Sometimes, of course, it's also connected with engineering and other forms of design, but very often one of the connotations of design is you say that, oh, a graphic designer or a design specialist is someone, a designer is someone who's kind of good with art and all that is how it's thought of sometimes. Also, as we see, a designer of engines, a designer for engineering products, a designer for any product is seen. Well, that is the larger meaning of design that we are alluding to, where a designer is supposed can be connected with anything and everything. So a fashion designer is designing fashion, an architect is designing buildings, an urban planner, urban designer is designing cities, an engineering design is about designing engineering products, machines. A software designer is designing software and so on. So obviously there must be a designer for connected with this process of sadhana also. Because sadhana, as we know, is the word that is used for daily practices. When you are deeply committed to a daily practice, daily, it is periodic. Some of these practices could be weekly, it could be monthly, etc., and all that, but it's a periodic practice to which you commit yourself, life practices. And specifically, the sadhana that we talk about when it comes to Karmyog for 21st Century's Fit for Life program, we are talking about life practices that work as that become the operating system of our life, which helps to keep the operating system of our lives well sharpened, well oiled, those kind of practices, and which helps to keep developing the operating system of our lives. What is the operating system? I'm not discussing today because that whole satsang has already happened on another day. Well, in order to make the most out of these satsangs, it's very important that you keep track of the entire series of satsangs that we have. As I have mentioned earlier, there will be at least 270 of these, which will be the basic requirement for you to understand the total ethos of the Karmyog for 21st Century movement or this Fit for Life program. Now, 270 such satsangs means if you even have to understand all these 270, so if it's 10 a month is what you try to understand, it'll take you 27 months. 27 months is if you try to put 9 months a year into this, that takes 3 years. So that itself is a very big commitment. 3 years of commitment just to understand the ethos or the principles of Karmyog for 21st Century, Fit for Life, and also learn the techniques of how you put them into practice in the manner, how you put them into a sadhana paddhati, in the manner that we are doing here today. But as we are doing this, we've also mentioned another day that the entire ethos and basis of this movement it can be summarized with the two words radical inclusiveness. Now, I'm not going to explain radical inclusiveness today because we have done that earlier. And I would strongly suggest that you refer to it, revise it, review it as you try to understand what we are talking about today. Now, if you have to be radically inclusive, that means you have to hone, you have to sharpen your skills of judging. How do you judge that particular skill, that particular quality? How you judge anything is a quality that you have to hone, that you have to sharpen, that you have to improve, that you have to develop. And Karmyog for 21st Century's Fit for Life program is a program that we are claiming will help you develop that particular aspect of your being, how to judge. Because judging is the way by which we reach decisions. Judging is a way, is almost interchangeable with decision making. So, and decision making is what we are. We are responsible for the decision we make. So, the answer to that question about who am I, and there are hundreds of different ways in which we will answer this question as we discuss this whole Karmyog for 21st century ethos. But today we are answering the question as the decision makers. We are, who am I? I am decision maker. I make decisions all the time. So these decisions are based on judgments. And so I have to be the right kind of judge, especially if I am trying to include a pluralistic, multiple points of views in before I come to the judgment. If I take only one point of view, then there is no judgment to make. It's very easy. As soon as I consider 2 points of views and then come to a judgment, I have to be judgmental. I have to decide. And as soon as I take multiple, infinite points of views, if I'm ready to consider infinite points of views, I have to be totally skillful in this, a master of making judgments. So now, how does that connect with design? Well, in order to connect that with design, we have to understand the word design in a slightly different, deeper sense. Well, what is design? We say that design is actually a bridge. What is it? It's a bridge. Now, when we talk about a bridge, we always talk about two ends upon which we build a bridge. There has to be two ends, 2 points. And in order to join these two disparate points, you need a bridge. Something that joins two disparate points is a bridge. And we are saying that design is also a process by which we build a bridge between 2 points. What are these points? What are these two ends between which we are trying to build the bridge? Well, one end of the bridge, or one end, is all the constraints. Whenever we are trying to do anything, we have any aim, any goal, we are trying to reach anywhere, any destination, we have constraints that will come in the way of us reaching that destination, of meeting that goal. Now, the list of all the constraints that we have, that is this end. Well, on the other hand, what is this? This is the list of all the possibilities that are there with us, which will help me reach that goal. So these are all those elements, all those items which will prevent me, which will serve as a constraint for reaching the goal that I have. And this is a list of all those possibilities which will serve to help me to reach that goal. So the bridge between all the constraints and all the possibilities, all the help, the supports, is what we call design. A good designer is someone who knows the ins and outs of all the constraints, and who also knows all the possibilities, all the supports possible, and can actually build a bridge between these two in order to help us reach any goal. So that's a designer. Designer is someone who is good at building bridges between all the constraints and all the possibilities for reaching any goal. Well, if we consider design from that point of view, then this concept of design can be applied to anything, whether it's software design or building design or urban design, city design, design of anything that we want. It's not just limited to any artistic endeavor or any specific engineering endeavor, etc. You design. So similarly now, if we have to apply this concept of design to the sadhana paddhati that we are, or to this designing a daily routine, a daily practice for ourselves, because that's what we have said. Sadhana is nothing but our commitment to practice. Practice what? Practice all those stuff that we need in order to exercise every dimension of our being, the physical, the energetic, the mental, the spiritual, all 4 dimensions of our being. We practice so that we can keep honing these dimensions, so that we can operate in life more smoothly. So it's a design, it's a practice to keep developing the operating system of our life. Now again, I'm not discussing operating system today because we have discussed it in another satsang, and I'll only refer you to that. Now, in order to design the operating system in a manner so that you will get all the benefits that we are talking about, it's not essential that you have to follow exactly the ones that we have talked about. You don't have to follow exactly what I'm preaching just because I am here sitting with this, head gear with a, sitting like a guru and talking to you. No, we are saying that each one of you will have to take responsibility for the sadhana that you indulge in, that you engage in. And you have to design a sadhana paddhati that is right for you. If you think the paddhati that we are talking about here is right for you, it's great. You are welcome to follow this hubahu, as in exactly in the manner that we are preaching. But that's not what we are indoctrinating you into. What we are saying is that there could be hundreds and thousands and millions of different ways in which different sadhana paddhatis that could be out there, which you can follow or which you can design in order to reach the same goals that we are talking about here. But you have to take responsibility. As you design your own sadhana paddhati, if you're not reaching your goal, you have to take responsibility. You cannot put the responsibility on anyone else. In a democratic world, each one is responsible for their own decisions. Hence, it's very important that we take responsibility for designing our sadhana paddhati. And as I have said, if you want to take help of Karma Yoga for 21st Century's Fit for Life program, this is a program that I keep designing for my own self and I share with you because I get a lot of benefits. I just wish that these benefits accrue to all else. That's all. It's a bodhisattva vow that is basically taken by anyone who, you get something, you go to a place which is very beautiful and you wish that, it would be so great if if I had all my loved ones around me, if I had my beloved with me. Why? Because you want to share that beauty and that joy and that pleasure with whoever you love. And when you love not just this or that, but you are love it yourself, then you want to just share it with one and everything, with every sentient being and with everything that you can dream of and think of and you cannot think of, cannot even imagine. You just want to share. Now, if you want to do that, that's what this is all about. That's why we are doing this. It works for me. There is no guarantee that it will work for you, but I'm just sharing what works for me, with the hope that you will be able to design a sadhana paddhati which will work for you. Now, it will take time. If you are alluded into thinking that, well, so here I am, I'm listening to this person say all this, so from tomorrow I'm going to do my own thing and that's going to be the best sadhana paddhati which will help me reach there. Well, it's up to you. We don't know. That's not what we guarantee. I'm saying it will take you at least 270 of these sessions to even start understanding, get to the point where you will get a basic sense of what I am talking about. And once you do that, then you will be able to start designing your own sadhana paddhati. So this whole program is not to indoctrinate you into one particular dharma or religion or one particular path, but it's basically to liberate you and help you be on your own path. And that is the essential aim of the program. Very important for all of us to understand, because unless we do that, we will not even understand what Swadharma means. And that's for another day. Till such time, take it easy. Take care. Namaskar.